guys, and welcome to the Bought to Build YouTube channel. So on today's video we're going to try something a little different. We're going to kick off the handheld, the tuner battle. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually be taking this Chevy 1500. It's got a 5.3 LS in it. Pretty basic mods, just an exhaust, a cold air intake, which I'll show you guys before we go ahead and take off. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use our Dragy to measure some stock calibration, 0 to 60 times, quarter mile times, some eighths, whatever we can work out, whatever we can make room for in Mexico. And we're going to test all that, and then we're going to switch over to the Flashpaqs. And this one's an F4, but I did do some research and reached out to them, and the calibration in the new F5 is identical. The only difference is the actual handheld itself. So the calibration and the tune file is identical. Like I said, it's just a different version of the actual handheld. I did update all these items before we're doing what we're doing today. I updated all of them. I double triple checked. Everything is up to date. So like I said, we're going to start with the Flashpaqs, or the Flashpaq, and then eventually we'll get to the Diablo. We're going to do both versus stock, and then eventually in an upcoming video we will put them up against each other and see which one comes out on top. As you guys know, the Diablo is definitely more money, but it also comes with the capability of doing some custom tuning. You can have custom tunes made, and I personally like it just because of the display and stuff like that. Not that the Flashpaqs is bad. The Flashpaq is a great unit too, and it also has a display you can set up. It's just a little different, which I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys all that. But let's go ahead and get a cold start on the truck, and we will go from there. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Chevy we've got here. Pretty basic truck. The only thing it's got is an intake. I just did a motor mount on this truck, and I also had to do a new trans cooler. It's also got a rebuilt transmission in it, under 20,000 miles on it, but it's going to be a great truck for what we're testing today. It's a basic 5.3 LS. So let's go ahead and get that cold start. Nothing too crazy, but it sounds good. So let's go ahead and hop in it and head out to Mexico. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and put some good old 93 in this thing. It's got like little to no fuel in it, so we figured it was a good time to go ahead and put some fuel in it. The tunes are meant for 91, 93 octane, so we figured we'd stop at Shell and get some good fuel in it. Can you guys believe the price of gas right now? And that's with my 5 cents off. What are you guys paying for gas? Let me know in the comments. But let's go ahead and get this thing filled up, and we're gonna run inside and get us a coffee, and then we will be on our way. Alright guys, we are out in Mexico. We're gonna go for our first run. This one, it's on a completely stock file, stock trans file, stock engine file. And I'm gonna leave tow mode off, and I'm gonna leave traction control on. We're gonna try one just how it sits, and then we'll loop around and we'll try one with traction off and in tow mode and see what we get. And then we'll come back here and put a tune on it and go from there. So let's go out here and give this a shot. So that was 1/4 mile run. We'll go ahead and look at the data, and we'll loop around, and we'll do it again with tow mode on and traction control off. I don't think traction control is really going to make much of a difference, just because we didn't slip at all. So we'll go from there. Alright guys, we're going to try it again. It started counting before I went, so I'm going to try to get it this time. Alright guys, this time traction control off, traction control completely off and tow mode on. And let's, crap, I'm still getting used to this thing, give me a break here. Yep, car's coming. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and plug in the Superchips. I did verify online that because they have a new one out, the F5. This is the F4, but I just updated it last night. So the tunes, from speaking with them and everything, the tunes and performance is going to be identical. The new one just has a new layout, and like the display's different, and it just physically looks different. But as far as we're concerned, it's going to be the same. So let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in, and I'll show you guys how you go about tuning with it. If I can find the port here. All right. Let's see what we've got. It turned on. So we're going to go to tuner info and settings just to see what it's got to say. Vehicle options. Stock tuning is installed. So we're going to go to tune vehicle. We're going to have to turn the engine off, leave the key on. We will do the, we'll see what advanced tune has to offer for us. Hopefully you guys can see that. Just letting it do its thing here. All right, so your options are gonna be stock with options, so you can adjust things under a stock file. Then you've got the mileage XS, which is a, it optimizes fuel economy, not so much performance. And then you've got an 87 octane tune, which obviously it'll optimize performance for 87 octane. And then you've also got a tow tune. We're gonna go with the performance tune since we do have 93. It says the performance is designed for a non-towing application and 91 octane fuel is required. We have 93 in it, so we are good. So we will hit continue. Let it do its thing for a second here. All right, so now we can adjust a bunch of different things. Rev limiter, it doesn't give you like actual values, it just says raised value, or you can go to stock value, raised value, and then some of them will have Superchips value. We're just gonna leave that one there. The speed limiter, we'll see what that is. Limiter settings at stock value, no, we want to turn that off. So we're gonna put it to the raised value, hit OK. It's gonna tell you blah 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 blah, don't be an idiot, accept. Gear ratio, we are stock ratio, we're not gonna worry about the tire size. Shift points, we're gonna set those to the Superchips value, see? So when you click on it, it says Superchips value, and then you can adjust slightly. We're just gonna leave it at their value because we know it'll work. Fan temperatures, we're gonna leave that at the Superchips value as well. You can also, if you have a 180 degree thermostat, it'd be perfect because you can set this for 180 so it's not bouncing around on you. Like I said, we don't, so we're just gonna leave that. And then the DOD, which is displacement on demand, it makes it go from a 8-cylinder down to a 4-cylinder when you're cruising. That's a stock thing with these Chevys. This truck is equipped with it. So what we're gonna do is it's enabled right now, we're gonna disable that because we don't want that. And then the shift torque. So that is on your shifts, if it's gonna limit how much power it gives you during the shift. That one you can adjust as well, 75%. There's a bunch of options, 125, 150, max value, stock value. We're gonna leave it right in the middle at the Superchips value. So then we're gonna go down to continue. And now it's gonna go ahead and do its thing and tune this thing. There we go. Install the performance file. Obviously we want to go to yes. It's going to check communication as you hear everything dinging. Now it's going to start installing the file. Like I said, hopefully you guys can see that. We'll let that do its thing for a minute. Once it starts actually writing the tune like this, it's not too bad. It's already, what, almost 50% already? Gonna reset the PCM now. Reestablish communication. Now it's gonna do the transmission file. That one should go pretty quick as well. Alright, so now we're just gonna follow what we're prompted to do. Turn ignition switch off and remove the key. Then we'll hit OK. Performance tuning is now installed. So now you can press OK, or you may just unplug the tuner. We're going to leave the tuner plugged in. We're going to hit OK. I'm going to show you guys something kind of neat with this thing real quick. We can go ahead and start the truck up too if we want. Now you can go down to additional features. You can go to data logging and diagnostics. We're going to go into data logging. And now you can select advanced. And then you can select from their list here of a whole bunch of different stuff that you can watch. I believe that I still have a display saved, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I did. So we've got load, manifold absolute pressure, mass airflow, and intake air temps. They are at 102 now, but once we get moving, they always drop right about down to ambient. It was a pretty cheap intake, not gonna lie, but it seems to work great, so we're gonna keep running it. So let's go ahead and get set up here, and we'll go make our next set of runs. Ready? Alright guys, this one is going to be Superchips 93 tune with traction off, tow mode off, and let's see what it can do. Definitely chirp second that time. Definitely chirp second that time.
60. Half mile.
Alright guys, this one's going to be Superchips again, tow mode on, traction control off. this is another tow mode on, traction off with the Superchips. Let's see what it does. I think we're losing time in those shifts. I think it'd be a lot faster if it shifted faster. Should be about a half mile now. See what we got on that. It definitely feels faster with the Superchips, but it almost, I don't know, I like the engine tune, but I'm not sure how I feel about the transmission tune right now. It shifts almost too hard. Like it gives it a second delay and then it shifts, but when it does shift, it shifts like the built transmission in my Hellcat shifts. And that's a good thing if you got a lot of power, but on this thing, it's almost like we don't have the power that we need to shift it the way it wants to shift it. So let's go ahead and take a look at these results and see what we should do next. I think we're losing time in those
60.
shifts. I think it'd be a lot faster if it shifted faster. Should be about a half
Half mile.
Alright guys, we're gonna try to foot brake it just a little bit.
Quarter mile.
Actually felt decent on that one. It kind of got out of the hole kind of crappy, to be honest. It kind of like bogged, but other than that, it felt good.
Quarter mile.
Actually felt decent on that one. It kind of got out of the hole kind of crappy, to be honest. It kind of like bogged. But all right guys, we're gonna try one more on the foot brake. I'm gonna try to up the RPM just a little bit more this time so we can try to get it so it doesn't bog out of the hole. It's about 1500.
Quarter mile.
forgot to turn tow mode on. the last one. So let's try one more. Tow mode on with traction control off, and we're gonna foot brake it to about I don't know, 1500 or so. Like so, and doesn't really seem to like the foot brake. It just kind of, I thought it would come out of the hole a little harder, but it actually seems more like it wants to bog a little bit coming out of the hole. Almost like on my newer truck, my diesel, if you have traction control on and you try to do a burnout or you try to brake boost it, it'll only let you go like 200 RPM and then it like just kicks you out. But with this one, I have traction off, stability track off, I have literally everything off, and it still just didn't really seem too happy about doing it. But let's go take a look at all the results and see if the Superchips is worth getting. And
30.
Alright guys, so that concludes the Superchips testing. It worked out pretty well. I mean, for a handheld can tuner, I think it did pretty good. As you'll see, there's a big variations in the different times. I'm not a professional and I'm working with a pretty stock truck here. I'm just learning as I go, you know. But we did get some runs that were pretty consecutive. Without the tuner, when it was a completely stock calibration, we had two back-to-back runs that were 16.3, and then after we did the Superchips, a couple runs in, we got two back-to-back runs that were 15.9s. So that's give or take 4/10. That's, in my opinion, that's quite a bit. I mean, granted, it doesn't seem like much because we are dealing with a 16-second truck. It's not like we're running a 9 or 8 second vehicle and we get that 4/10, because that would be a lot. But to me, that 4/10 is still quite a bit, especially for what you're paying for and what you're getting. I think personally that it'd be worth getting if you are looking to keep a daily driver truck. If you're trying to keep a vehicle that you're just going to drive every day, you're not looking to turn it into a full-blown race vehicle, you want to still do some towing, maybe get decent mileage still, stuff like that, then I think it'd be great for someone like that, because you can still set it for mileage and towing and all that good stuff. So in that aspect, I think it'd be perfect. Now, as far as if you were trying to go a little farther with the vehicle, I would think you might want to look at some other options, which we do have an option for you, which we'll go over in the next video. But I hope you guys liked what you've seen here today. If you did, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Ring the bell if you want to see what's coming up with the Diablo tuners. We also have some testing that we're going to do with the Superchips versus the Diablo, so that'll be pretty cool. Alright guys, so this wraps up episode 1 of the tuner battles. We still have a couple more tuners to try out, so make sure you stay tuned and we will catch you on the next one.